We got Rams at the Cowboys this week in the NFL. Your Dallas Cowboys are a 6.5-point favorite at home, fresh off the bye. Although maybe you're getting the desperate team theory. L.A. Rams, they had a bit of a rough go against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brett Maher, they lose by 7. He cost them 7 points. Got himself cut. The Brett Maher revenge game has been canceled. But we'll still be live an hour and a half before kickoff of the Cowboys versus Rams game. We will also be doing a Drew Pearson signed jersey giveaway as part of the game. So make sure you are subscribed and tune in. We'll tell you all about the details. We'll have the jersey in-house. Make sure you're subbed. Don't miss out. Now, exiting Wednesday's practice, Wanye Thomas, lone injured guy. He's fine, full participant. Thursday comes, and look at Tyron Smith popping up on the injury report with a limited designation. What does that mean? We'll find out. Did he tweak it in practice? If so, that's bad. Did he just sleep on it weird? As of filming, don't know that much. I'm sure we'll know a lot more before kickoff happens, but it's Tyron and a neck injury. It's always something that is worth being concerned about. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's talk top 5 matchups of this game. How about the Cowboys' run defense, which has been kind of streaky this year? You'll see what I mean. Against backup running backs in L.A. No Kyren Williams. It'll be Darrell Henderson and some Royce Freeman. Before the Rams lost Kyren Williams, they still are overall this year, actually one of the best ground teams in the NFL. Rush EPA per play. Expected points added. How good are you on the ground? They were 5th behind the Dolphins in elite ground game. The Eagles, the Bears, the Bills as well. The Rams were 5th. In rushing success rates, was your play a good play? Did you get the yards required to stay ahead of the chains, right? Dolphins, Eagles, Bears, and the Rams were then number 5 as part of that. Bills are number 5, Rams are 4. So however you slice it, that is a top 5 rushing unit. Now, the rushing success rate allowed, and this is where it's very strange, for the defense side of the football. The Cowboys are a bottom 5 rushing success rate team. However, they are top 5 in EPA per play allowed on the ground, which means they're allowing decent runs more than most. But those runs are not really leading anywhere. Teams are not running the ball that much against them. It's a volume thing, right? And when they do run the ball, there are some turnovers. There are some big lost plays as well. They're losing chunk plays. So teams can run the ball on you, but they're not getting the massive runs. Again, outside of the Arizona game in particular. So something's got to give. Both should regress more towards the mean, but I bet the Rams try to run the football, as all teams are going to, against the Cowboys to avoid that pass rush. So what is your confidence level in beating the Rams this week? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. It's the pinned comment of today's video, so if the ad comes on YouTube, take advantage of it and go vote. Next up, it is Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp against your Cowboys secondary. This is one of the best receiving duos in the NFL. Not something we saw coming. Cooper Kupp missed some time to begin the year. And how about Puka Nacua, the kid from BYU, with an unbelievable stat line, not for the season, but just through the 7 games that the Rams have played so far this year. He has 58 catches, averaging 13 yards per catch, 752 yards. He is behind the likes of Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown. That is it. That is an unbelievable group to be a part of. Cooper Kupp, we know how good he is. He was kind of held in check against the Steelers, and Nacua went off for 150. I don't know if you can stop both of those guys. I think Deron Bland can make some plays on this grouping. What worries me, though, is you're going to have Kupp in the slot. How does Jordan Lewis fare in that role? This will be his toughest test of the season. And then not only that, I think Stephon Gilmore has struggled this year on staying in phase on crossers. The Rams are going to run crossers on you. Do you try some more zone this week, knowing that the Rams and Puka Nacua are actually better against zone in their coverage stats? It's not. That worries me a little bit. However, Matthew Stafford hasn't been that good this year, folks. He's got 6 interceptions, 7 TDs. The flashes are still there. If he's on, he'll cause some issues, but he's had some struggles against coverage and has not been as accurate as he normally is, at least compared to previous seasons. Maybe the elbow is still bothering him a little bit. That's the passing game and those dynamic receivers, worth watching. As part of this whole conversation, too, how does your pass rush fare against the Rams' offensive line? There are guys you can beat. Kevin Dotson's played great for the Rams. They traded for him. I would have loved to have gotten him. The Cowboys didn't listen to me. Alaric Jackson starting. He's not that good. That's a player the Cowboys should be able to pick on. Steve Avila's a piece long term, but he's still developing as a young first-year player. You can get after this offensive line. Now, I bet the Rams do screens. I bet they do quick game to mitigate that passing game, or the pass rush is what Sean McVay does very well. But if you can get him in a 3rd and long, you can get after this group. And if you watch the Bengals-Rams Monday Night Football game, they lost a guy to injury, and the Bengals were attacking. They harassed Stafford all night long. Pressure, historically speaking, when it's a not great O-line under Sean McVay coach teams, the offense struggles. Pressure causes issues for McVay and Stafford and Goff in the Rams' tenure. I want to see more of that this upcoming Sunday. Now, today's show is made possible by Rocket Money. Who here has had a subscription that they forgot to cancel? They set the reminder and they hit snooze. Uh-oh, now it's a week later and you paid for it. It happens to all of us, right? But it's also why I love using Rocket Money. How much do you think you're paying a month per subscription? Most of you think they're paying like, $50 a month? Wrong. The actual average is about $200. Yeah, it's that high. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, helps lower your bills all in one place. Over 5 million users and counting. Rocket Money has customers average of $720 a year and $1 billion in total savings so far. So stop wasting money on things you don't use, you don't want anymore. Go to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys and manage your money the easy way. Links in the comments in the description of today's show. It's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Matchup number 4, how about Jake Ferguson against a not great back end group of Rams defensive safeties and linebackers. I do like Ernest Johnson, but Troy Reeder, Christian Roseboom, which sounds like a made-up name, he's real. Jordan Fuller's beatable. Russ Yeast, you can have some success there. It's been a quiet couple games for Jake Ferguson. I'm feeling a Fergie breakout game this week. I'm feeling a touchdown, maybe some yards as well. I would not be surprised if this is a week the Cowboys get Ferguson going. He should have 3 scores. He's dropped 2 of them. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets going against the Rams. So get your predictions in. You can go multiple names too, of course. Who scores a touchdown against the Rams? Predict it in the comments section. Number 5, Mike McCarthy versus his own scheme. I am begging Big Mike to do more of what we saw against the Chargers. Your ground game is I'm going to keep calling it the tight zone. Got to get out to the outsides more. Just do some duo. You don't have to do all power. They've done a lot of power stuff this year. Get the ball downfield. Attack. Yes, there's Aaron Donald. Yeah, your left tackle's banged up now. Again, feed your best players. If Michael Gallup is your leading target getter, it's a mistake. Can't happen. I get Dak wants to trust his guys. Dak, stop throwing it to him. Stop it. Look elsewhere. Go rogue if you need to from that perspective. You have to find a way to have more success with what this team has at the current moment. It's not working otherwise. They have to do more in terms of pushing the ball downfield. It is not an accident, folks, that in the first game, the Cowboys really kind of tried to push the ball downfield, have some more success. Didn't this entire offense look more comfortable? Didn't they just look better across the board in terms of having impact and big plays and just being a better overall football team? And by the way, stop being scared if you're worried about whatever accuracy stuff has happened. Here are your on-target throw leaders in the NFL this year. This is data from Sports Info Solutions. It's just on-target throws. Dak is number 1 in the NFL. Doesn't mean he's better than Mahomes, but this narrative that he's not accurate is just flat out false. Stop saying it. It's not true. Now, the yards per target are lower, but it's also more than Mahomes, the same as Lawrence, and more than Russ. It's 5-yard throws. It's not last in the NFL, okay? It's similar because shorter throws are easier. That's how it tends to work. But He's been very accurate. Please push the ball downfield more. Do you believe in Mike McCarthy as this team's play caller? Y for yes, N for no. Vote for me in the comments section. Top 5 players to watch. It was going to be Maher versus Aubrey in the matchups, but then Maher got cut. Your kicker's been very good this year. Knock on wood, by the way. He has made a bunch of kicks in a row after he had missed the first extra points. He's missed one all year long, 16 straight field goals. He's been accurate. He's got the strong leg. He will miss a kick at some point. I promise you, he will miss one. But he's been a great addition for the Cowboys so far this season. You wanted me to put Zach Martin, Aaron Donald. Donald's in here to an extent. He was in our other preview too. How about left guard Tyler Smith? He will get matchups on Aaron Donald. That's a tough matchup for anyone. Don't make me wrong. And Donald will move all of the defense because that's what good teams do. The first 2 games back, I thought Tyler Smith was awesome. This is also bore out by the PFF grades. Great against Arizona, great against New England, not great against the Niners, and not against the Chargers. And by the way, this is what bothers me. I think the individual, the stat stuff works for PFF, but sometimes, like, when it comes to grades, that math ain't mathing. How does 84.4, 93.7, and 2 sub-60s equate to 84.2? It doesn't. The math is not mathing there. But you need the good Tyler Smith. The penalties are killing you, by the way. Unfortunately, he is your face of the penalty boys. He is averaging over about a penalty per game in his NFL career. That's bad. So we're bringing it back. Bully the penalty boys. Spam flags in the comment section if you want the Cowboys to commit fewer penalties. Spam flags right now. Next player to watch. Let's get Brandon Cooks going. Got him involved against the Chargers. Please do more than just decoy go routes. That is a waste of space. Let him do some more in-breaking stuff. All those slants you're throwing to Gallup, give some to Cooks. Michael Gallup should not be out-targeting Brandon Cooks anymore. Has to change. Get him the ball. Now, Micah Parsons, I'm not putting him on every week. I'm going to put Dak on this side there because that happens too often, I think. Micah wants to win Defensive Player of the Year, right? Well, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt had a big couple of weeks when the Cowboys were on bye. So it's a Micah's turn to make the big-time sexy splash plays against Matthew Stafford. And finally, Tony Pollard. I mentioned the ground game stuff earlier. It still applies. You got to get going. And by the way, when your entire ground game, including Dowdle and others, it all takes a step back, probably means it's your coaching, it's your scheme. Pollard has not been the same guy. He's actually been great as a scrimmage player. He's been awesome because he's getting some catches and making big plays out of him. As a runner, not doing as well. All of that points to the fact that this new scheme in the ground game is not working right. So get it going. At some point, you will need your running game to do more than it's done so far this season.